What's up guys, welcome back to the Smith's Trading YouTube channel. This is the second episode of the daily crypto and forex analysis show. Before we do get into this episode, I'd just like to remind you guys to like, comment and subscribe if you like the content, and be sure to come and join us in our Discord community if you are a trader, as we do share analysis in real time and we have a discussion amongst members that can be very useful for traders. So let's take a look at some analysis on GBP US dollar. So if I rescale my chart and zoom out, you can see that my fib retracement stems from the range high at 1.719 all the way down to the range low at 1.186. Just for reference, so you guys know how I'm scaling my fib retracements. So if we zoom into the chart a little bit more, you can see that we had a quite sharp uptrend here that broke to the downside throughout 2017 and 2018. That was pretty much the whole trend of 2017, sharp uptrend followed by some consolidation and a retest of the range low that happened in September of last year in 2019. So throughout 2019 there was a falling support, and in conjunction with that falling support there was actually higher highs on the max momentum. So this indicates to me potential bullish divergence. So if we look at the low from the 2nd of May or the 4th of May down here of 2018, you can see that it's actually lower than the high slightly that it was painted in July of 2019. So that shows bullish divergence there, as you know, price action created lower lows and then the indicator created higher highs, which is typical bullish divergence. So this leads me to believe that we're going to see further continuation of an uptrend alongside the uptrend that we've already seen here throughout sort of September, November, and into the early stages of 2020. So again, if I rescale my chart and we have a look on the 1 hour, I'll show you guys sort of what I'm looking at right here. So on the 1 hour chart, we can see sort of the price action for the last almost month. So if I get my trend line tool, immediately we can see there's quite an obvious downtrend that formed here, followed by a formation of an uptrend here that has recently broke to the downside. So if we use the bullish divergence as reference that I just mentioned, we can see there was quite a low here on the 17th of December, which followed with a higher high here. As you can see, throughout the falling support, there was higher highs on the max momentum. So that's a bullish divergence right there, which has been playing out in this uptrend. So in this uptrend, we've seen a break to the downside within the last sort of few hours actually, which I've just entered into a short. I'll be looking to take profits on this short around sort of this low here, where I see a lot of support in line, and also just to be safe, I'll probably take some profits off the table around here, which is still quite a good move and there's quite a lot of profit to bank. So just to recap, I've already taken my short on the break to the downside of this uptrend. We could see some sort of consolidation around this breakdown point, but I will be taking profit at these two marks here. I probably will leave maybe 15% of my position. I actually do scale out of the market in increments. So let's say I sell 30% of my position at the first ray, and secondly I'll sell another 30% of my position at the second ray, and I'll still leave a small chunk of my position in the market just in case we do see a further downside, just to maximize those profits. There is a possibility that I'm looking out for that the uptrend that I've drawn here is slightly off. Although it appears to be perfect now, we could see a bounce around this what appears to be a breakdown point, which forces me to sort of readjust my trend line to something like this, or perhaps something like more sort of like this. So if we do see a bounce, my stop loss will take us out the market around this Fibonacci level, and then there'll actually be an ascending triangle that is formed, which gives us reason to actually take a long here, considering there was bullish divergence before. I will be looking to take a long. There's quite a lot of resistance at this point here in the purple box, which I'll be looking to take profits on. Again, this is one of my favorite kind of trading styles, is simply entering on a break through a sharp downtrend or a break through a sharp uptrend with either a corresponding long or short. It allows you to manage risk quite significantly. There was a very typical retest of the breakout point with a wick here, which I was waiting for, which played up very nicely, and then we saw quite a large jump there. So that was a nice trade that I caught, and I'm just showing you this for reference so you can see sort of what my trading style is. I like to trade breakouts of sort of sharp downtrends and sharp uptrends that are very significant. Just a quick update on how Bitcoin is developing. So my short position that I entered on the breach of this low candle here has been filled. I'm now expecting a pullback to this purple box where I'll be entering. We could see a lower low come down to sort of this green ray around 7,738. However, I do think that we will bounce at about 8,000, as that is the key support, and the uptrend that is formed after this breakout looks quite strong. So I'm just sitting and waiting now to see if this short plays out, and I'll be taking profits in the purple box and then actually switching to a long, so we get 2 trades out of this setup here. As you can see, the 50 MA is about to cut straight through that orange, the purple box, so that leads me to believe that we will see a bounce, and this will be a key level to look out for. Just an update and checkup on how our Bitcoin short is performing. So we entered at the break of the lowest wick here, and we took profits now in the purple box just as we tapped the 50 MA, which you can see quite nicely. I have switched to a long position here. However, I'm only 15% into my intended full position of that long position in case we do decide to drop, in which I will sell around the 7,920 mark, and that'll only be 15% of my intended full position. So just to recap there, we've taken profit on that nice little short scalp. We've taken a long, but we're only in 15% of our full intended position, and we took profit on that short as the candle tapped onto that 50 MA there. There is a nice trading setup here on the Euro Australian dollar. As you can see, we have the range high highlighted here and the range low. We can see there is price action lingering around the 50 MA, which you can see is the orange line. After quite a big spike from the range low pretty much to the range high, I'm expecting to see some sort of consolidation or pullback, as that's the nature of the market. What goes up must come slightly down in order to sustain any kind of uptrend. As you can see from prior price action, what came up eventually came down, so I'm expecting a similar sort of thing to happen here. So there is a small, what I like to call bear flag forming. So there's been a downtrend consolidation period, and now I'm expecting price action to break that 50 MA to the downside and test either of these 2 rays here. So if I scale out and I draw my fib retracement from the range high to the range low, now we have to be more specific. You'll notice that my rays aren't actually at the range low, they're more sort of where I deem to think the heavier support lies, which doesn't always have to be the top of the wick or candlestick for that range high and range low. It could be slightly higher, more into where there's a bunch of candles and more where support or resistance lies, in sort of my opinion. So price action alongside resting on the 50 MA is also resting on this 0.618 level. I do think that we will move down to the 0.5 or the 0.382 close to either of my rays that I've highlighted, which stem from these wicks down here and sort of conjunction with this wick and a lot of price action around here as well. So I do think that we will catch a short here. My short trigger will be a low of this candlestick here. So as soon as we breach below this candlestick here, I have a short ready, a limit short entry that will take us down to a profit target at this ray, another profit target that actually sits on the 200 EMA, just slightly above the fib level, just in case we do get a front run. So that'll be banking me about 50 pips on this ray and about 100 pips on the next fib level. So that'll be quite a nice trade. My stop loss sits just at this fib level here. So that gives a little bit of room for us to sort of consolidate before we drop. However, if we do breach above this level, I will be hopping out of the market, as that makes sense in my eyes. I think that if we do breach this level, I kind of want nothing to do with this trading setup, and it invalidates it. So yeah, hopefully fingers crossed that we do get a short that plays out here and we get some profit off the table. So just an update on how the Euro Australian dollar short is performing. So we took the short around 1.6207. As you can see, there is an uptrend that has now broken to the downside, which is following my arrow prediction quite nicely. We are nearing my first profit target at 1614. Price action looks to be nearing. I will be selling about half my position here and then holding onto the other half remaining to sell around this fib level at 161. I might also take some profits around the 200 EMA also. So far this short is going well.